today I want to take some time to talk about time. And it's a topic that's really important, obviously, for drummers in particular. And, you know, a lot of times you practice with your metronome, that's pretty standard, or you practice counting and playing with the metronome. Obviously, there's click tracks, a lot of recording studios now, and even on larger tours, they may want a standard type performance, so there's drummers have to play with the click track, which is fine, and hence you practice playing like machine time. But quite often, you're the timekeeper, and you're playing in small venues, dance clubs and so forth, jazz clubs, and you're required to keep a good pulse. So today I wanted to spend a little time on that and go through some of the ways of practicing that may or may not be as prevalent. So naturally, the first one, of course, is you play with your metronome. I have this set at 90. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 2, and 2, and 3, and 4, and right, and 3, and 4, and 4, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and so forth. Well then, after a while, you get, you know, you take two triplets, 16th notes, and you keep the pulse. That one is set at 90. I have a phone app, it's called Tempo. There's a lot of different apps out there. And it has a coach on it, so you can put the different note rates, triplets, 8th notes, 16th notes. And in this case, I have it set, you could put the bars, number of bars with the coach on, and then the number of bars off, and you want to see how you land. So in this case, I have it set for 4 and 4. So it would be like this.
1, 2, 3, 4.
1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 4 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 6 and 2, 3 and 4 and 7 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 8 and 2 and 3 and 4 and she's back. Okay. Now, with the coach, there are buttons that light up like little blue dots. So every time there's a beat, those dots will light up. So even when there's no audio, you can cheat or you can coach yourself that way just by looking at it, you know, visually. Then the next step would be not to look. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 3 and 2, 3 and 4 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 6 and 2, 3 and 4 and 7 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 8 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2. Okay? Then the next step would be to try to practice with your eyes closed, because you don't play on the bandstand that way, you'll miss all the cues. But it heightens the sense of hearing, so you would do it that way. And of course, you could do this with triplets, 16th notes, and switching back and forth to see how, you know, when you practice, sometimes you might say
2, 3, 4.
1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 3 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 5 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 6 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 3, 4 and... Okay, that way. One of the most important ways, or one of the most important things you want to practice would be your timekeeping ability. So in jazz, that's the 1, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, and then your rock or funk beats, or a lot of your straight. So let's just try that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 2 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 3 triplet, 2 triplet, 4, 4 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 5 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 6 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 7 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 8 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 6, 2, 3, 4, 7, 2, 3, 4, So she was 4 bars on, 4 bars off, and I think there's some kind of an aggregator here where she might be skipping some of the bars on me. But I was tracking it, and I was watching the lights, so I was able to keep track of it. But basically, this is supposed to be, you know, a 4 bars on, 4 bars off, and you work with the coach device that you have to see if your ear is actually, and your neuromuscular system's close to the beat. Do you have to be metronomically, like, solid with this?
1,
No.
2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 4. 3, 2, 3, 4. 4. 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 5 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 6 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 7 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 8 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 5, 2, 3, 4. Okay. What about your basic straight ahead beats, like say your rock and funk beats? You want to practice that too?
2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4, and 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2, 3, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 4, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 6, and 2, 3, and 4, and 7, 2, 3, and 4, and 8, 2, 3, 4, and... Okay, so practice in time. The most important thing is to get close to the coach that you work with when you fade out. This, by the way, you can have the audio off for 10 bars. Like say you had 2 bars on and 10 bars off. See how far from the machine beat that you drift. You drift a lot, or are you really pretty close to when that click comes back and it's really, you know, insignificant. So that, you know, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 4 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 4. And now that might be not exactly where she's coming back, but you're really close, and at least you know that, hey, there's a frame of reference for yourself. So what I would say is practice some sessions all metronome at various speeds. Practice some sessions no metronome, various beats, basic beats. Timekeeping is very important. And then practice in some sessions this way. Counting out loud, eyes closed, with the coach, 2 on, 2 off, 4 on, 4 off, so forth and so on, until your internal sense of time becomes very, very, very developed. And as I said, you know, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, or 1, note rate changes and so forth. You can go back and watch the video we had on the table of time, and we had the metronome set like at about 55 or something like that. But you know, this is set much higher, but even that, this exercise is going to be a great way of doing, you know, developing your sense of time. I would start this at 50 or 60 beats per minute. Slower is a little bit more difficult. There's more space between the notes. Okay, so 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, you know, that is more difficult in general. You're playing a slow ballad, you're playing a waltz, you're playing with your brushes a jazz ballad. That is harder than playing quick. Playing quick, the notes are happening so fast that if you have a basic pulse going, it sounds okay. Alrighty, so that's what I wanted to emphasize on time. It's really important to get it. You don't have to be the metronome, but, and you know, you don't want to be a machine beat like, you know, you're not if that was the case, they would just use clicks, you know, and studio sounds and imitation drums. But on the other hand, why is it that the drummers, you know, these old sayings like in jazz, oh, he'll swing you into bad health. Or this guy. That's because they're damn close to the time. They're really pretty much on it for the human ear and the human neuromuscular system to pick up on like something that's driving a consistent pulse. Not necessarily a machine-like pulse, but a human pretty strong pulse, strong groove. And there are certain drummers that are known more than others as to really driving that pulse, you know. You could pick some of your favorites out and you'll probably notice that there's a strong beat there. So I wanted to take this segment to do this and make sure that you understand that this is probably, after you get your basics, this is one of the most important things you're ever going to do, ever going to work on. And so I often will just go down and practice these things just for segments of time. And with the metronome, without the metronome, 4-bar phrases, you know, how far off am I once I do my 4 bars of time with the coach? Okay, that's great. Now I'm doing a 4-bar fill. And you naturally have a lot of different notes going on and all these different fancy figures. How are you coming back close to where she is, or he, or whatever the voice is? Or are you like way off, way early, way late? That kind of thing. It's great practice, and that's why I wanted to spend this time doing it. So, remember, if you want to be strong in creating the beat you keep, you need to have excellent sense of timing with the beat you keep. Alrighty, thanks for tuning in. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, please do that. And remember, keep the beat with Pete. Peace out.